is Nicole Nicholson. I love to cook and I love to entertain. And the recipe that I'm going to do for you today is something that's going to be just as versatile for a weeknight supper or a holiday gathering to a cocktail party. And I'll show you how to do that later. But what we're going to make is going to be some honey pecan mashed sweet potatoes. And I already put a little bit, I put a half a cup of honey into my food processor and a quarter cup of sugared nuts, candied pecans. And then we're going to use about 4 ounces of Philadelphia brand cream cheese. And we're just going to work that and just blend it all nicely until it's nice and smooth. And it's that simple. My sweet potatoes are in the oven and they're roasting, and a few years ago I decided to start roasting my sweet potatoes versus pot boiling them, and that's what my mother always did. It just adds a little bit more flavor, it's a little bit more caramelized, and they taste so much better than pot boiling them in that water where they tend to retain water. So my sweet potatoes are nice and tender and they are ready to get mashed. So I'm going to put them in my mixing bowl. I'm going to go ahead and just get the skin off of them. And they peel very easily. And we're just going to pop them right on in to a mixing bowl. Now these are still hot, so if you have, you can let yours cool. I have those little elastic hands where things don't tend to be hot to me. Cook hands or whatever they call them. I'm gonna get all the skin off. And one last one. There we go. Give my hands a little rinse. And move on to starting our spices and loading our flavors. So, to our hot sweet potatoes, I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of butter. This is just a tablespoon of light brown sugar, a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. Don't measure salt, but I'm just going to do a little bit like that. That's about a quarter teaspoon. I'm going to do a quarter teaspoon of ground cardamom. You don't have to use much cardamom. Cardamom is, it's a very strong spice. And I'm going to use a quarter teaspoon of ground white pepper. And it's not only for the color, but for some reason I really like the flavor of white pepper with sweet potatoes and butternut squash. It's just a nicer, milder flavor than black pepper. And then a little bit of fresh ground nutmeg. Remember, nutmeg goes a long way. And then I'm going to go ahead and start mashing. I also have a half a cup of heavy cream working on the stove right now. And you want to remember to heat that when you're working with heavy cream. Just heat it slowly. Just work it. They look good already. Nice and creamy. I love mashed sweet potatoes. I discovered I always had them candied growing up. And that was just that was one of our Sunday meals. And then I discovered sweet potato casseroles, sweet potato everything. I discovered that I really just love them. So, next we're going to take our cream cheese, honey cream cheese mixture. This is so good that you can actually use this cream cheese and make extra and store it in your refrigerator and eat it on a bagel. It is that yummy. If you like more nuts, add more nuts. If you like less honey, add less honey. If you don't like yours that sweet. But my family likes sweet. And this is gonna be great with a side of pork. Like a nice slice, a nice spicy pork would be so yummy with this. So for serving purposes, I always entertain with white serving dishes. And it's just a simple way. All of my stuff is, even my formal china is white. So we're going to put it in a serving bowl. And add a little bit more. We can rough chop a little bit extra pecans to put on the top. Now I bought these pecans already sugared. They're candied right in the grocery store. They make things easy for us now. You can actually sugar your own nuts. That's very easy as well. And that's that. Now for entertaining purposes, I sometimes do something that's called a mashed sweet potato bar, and I will put the sweet potatoes on there, some extra butter, some nuts, and maybe throw on a spicy pork or something like that, and people just load them into martini glasses. And that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna taste these. And it's so cute when you see people walking around your house eating out of glassware. Who can resist that? Add a couple more nuts because I love candy pecans. And I'm going to get my own self a spoon and I'm going to taste them. Really good. They're so good. They're so nice and creamy. The Philadelphia brand cream cheese just adds that wonderful texture to these sweet potatoes. I hope you like my dish. I hope you would try it. I hope you like it. My name is Nicole Nicholson. I love to entertain, and I would love to see you again next week. Thank you.